As soon as you stop people pleasing, people are quick to drop you. People pleasing for me was putting myself last and putting everybody else's needs before mine. And that's not okay. Some of you might even people please just to hold on to friendships that's not really serving you anymore. And this is why you should watch my other video, I Don't Have Friends, because for me now, I have been disappointed by people for so long. Now I'm just like, I don't want to be your friend. And then I had someone say to me just the other day, there was like, you are so hard to read. Is everything okay with us? And I had to just explain to them, like, I know you want this friendship, but for me, I love your family, but for me, I've been hurt so many times by people that it's hard for me to trust people in general, you know. And it's a shame because that person could really be genuine, but I just don't have it in my heart to even try and move forward a friendship when I know at some point you may even leave my ass. You understand? And by leave my ass, I just mean like I have been the placeholder friend for so many years where people take a liking to me, they want my advice, I'm the strong friend, but yet as soon as someone else comes along that they find better value in, boyfriend, they'll get a boyfriend and then they'll just go. They wouldn't even call my phone no more and check up how I'm doing anymore. Do you know what I mean? So that's basically what I mean when I say they tend to leave me, because they find someone else like a boyfriend and then they will just go off with the boyfriend and not care about the friendship anymore. But as soon as that boyfriend has left them or the relationship is ended, they'll come back. And that's what I don't like. I'm refusing to be the placeholder friend. So yeah, it's a shame, but you have to do what's best for you. You always have to put yourself first in everything you do. As soon as you set boundaries for yourself, people, they will cut you off. They will block you. They will start being distant with you because now you're not giving them anything for them to feed off. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know, people use you for what they can get. Let's put it like that. People use you for what they can get until it's not serving them anymore. I refuse to be that person that is going to help you, but in return, I'm not getting anything. True friends, after you have set boundaries, they will respect them boundaries and then the friendship will continue to grow. Someone that is not your friend, and if you try to imply boundaries, they will cut you off. They're not your friends. A true friend will respect your boundaries, okay? Nothing is more draining than being a people pleaser because you're putting yourself last. You finally put up boundaries. It's funny how people get angry by them boundaries. People get upset by them boundaries. And it's not their fault most of the time. It's just because they have been taught to take. It's really about their own family upbringing. You know, I've always wanted them to have growth. I've always wanted them to thrive. But yet, no one is helping me thrive as a person. But you know what? I can only do that by myself. Yeah. For me, I'm one of these people that I suffer in silence. And maybe I need therapy myself. But yeah, it's important to seek therapy when you feel like you're being a people pleaser. A lot of the time, what people do is they see something in you that they want, right? They see you doing well because you're not the kind of person that will cry out loud. A lot of people like to see when someone is doing bad. So for me, I'm not one of these people that show people that I may not be doing well in my life. I'm very much a person that if someone asks me, oh, how's the family, I'm not going to tell them how me or my family are really doing. I could have something in my family that I want to talk about, but because my trust issues from being hurt many times in my life, I'm not going to share when I'm upset. So people see me as someone that is strong, confident, and doing well most of the times. And that may be my downfall. Who knows? Who knows? But my point is this. When someone sees something in you that is strong and confident, they want a piece of that, right? So I had just given birth to my baby boy. and I've got a 9-year-old daughter, right? So I'm still trying to find motherhood again. So there's a big age gap between my children, right? So I'm new to being a mother again. Let's put it like that, right? As soon as I gave birth to my son, a few weeks later, and I'm literally talking about 2 weeks later, I had families at my daughter's school asking me, can you pick up my children? Can you do this? Oh, my husband's away. He needs to work. And people was asking me for favours left, right and centre. I had one family that asked me to look after their children from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. even though I had to take my daughter to theatre school, and I still did that and bungled all her children in my car just to look after everybody at the same time. And me as a mother, I needed my rest, okay? But for some reason, I just couldn't say no because I knew that her husband was away and I knew that she wanted to go to college and do her placement, right? So in that situation, yes, I should have said no. I should have said no because that was a lot of hard work for me. That lady had 4 children plus my one daughter, my son, right? So I had I had 6 children to take care of, plus taking my daughter to theatre school. That was a lot for one person to manage. I did it, but that was a lot of kids to manage. So yeah, I should have said no in that instant. I put myself last. And I shouldn't have done that. There's a lot of people that take advantage of kindness. There's a lot of people that are jealousy, that have the evil eye in this world, okay? You may think that that person is being nice, but they're really not. And what's interesting about that situation is the fact that I was finding that it was always couples, married couples, that kept asking me for favours. At that time, I was a single mom. And I used to say to myself, how is it that I can juggle 2 children and is it that I'm doing better than these married couples? How is it that I'm doing better as a single mom on my own than these married couples that were asking me for favours? And I found that most of the time I would say yes to people because I didn't want to lose that friendship. I was saying yes to people because I didn't want to create conflict. I didn't want these people to go back to their friends and be like, oh, she's no good. Don't talk to her. I don't want people to talk about me. So I was saying yes to everybody in hopes that I would have friends. What does that stem from? That stems from childhood. I've always had issues with girls growing up and I didn't understand. I just don't understand why. Even to this day, I don't understand why because I'm such a authentic and kind person in my heart. So most of the time, my friendships from girls stemmed from jealousy. Primary school to secondary school, down to college, I would confide in people about my life, and yet there was that them same people would turn around and use what they know about me against me. Stay away from people like that. People will start to take you for granted. And what that does is breaks you down as a person to the point where you're like, I don't even know who I am anymore. So people, please stop people pleasing. Most of the time, what you have to do is act like you haven't got much. I haven't got much. There's nothing I can offer you. There's nothing I can offer you. Please, let me just be at peace by myself. I mean, for me, I was always taught to be polite to people, you treat people how you want to be treated. But what I was getting at the time, before I put boundaries is that people wasn't treating me how I wanted to be treated. People were taking advantage of me. People were using me. People were being my friend to gain knowledge about me to then use it against me. Or people would want to be my friend and then as soon as I say no, they're off, or they'll start talking about me, start spreading rumours. And we don't like that. So the moral of the story is, don't be a people pleaser. Do what's best for you. Prioritizing yourself is key. And most of the time, people have narcissistic traits. But that's another story. You have to find people in this world that love you, that can accept you for you. Because when you people please, you will get burnt out quickly. You will burn out. You will do things that you don't really enjoy just to keep a connection. And who is that benefiting? That is benefiting them. I was a person that I'm still a person that doesn't like conflict. I like my peace. I want to take my children to school. I want to come home. I want to cook for my children. I want to bake for my children. And I want to get on with my work and do that over and over and over again. So I was going along to get along. You are spending way too much time dealing with other people's problems. I remember one woman I was friends with at the time, and she was like, oh yeah, I don't have friends. And I found myself people pleasing for her a lot of the time, because it was like, okay, you're alone, I'm alone, let's create this aloneness together. And yeah, and she had a husband, and at the time I didn't have anybody. She dropped me like that, and I asked her, is there issue between us? Is that something I don't know? My girl did not give me any explanation. So yeah, take note of what people say when you are trying to become their friend. Take note of what people say about other people in general, because most of the time people talk less about other people, they are talking less about you. And I have learnt the hard way. The hard way. I feel for me that my people pleasing comes from my childhood, wanting to make others happy so they'll be happy with me. I feel like for me, there must have been some sort of love lost when I was a child that makes me want to gain love from other people. There was some sort of love connection that got lost somewhere, that now in my adult years, I have wanted to find that love. And I feel like that's why, like, I'm a very secure person within myself, but I still yearn for someone to just understand me. And that's why I always say I'm very much misunderstood. And I feel like a lot of people pleasers are like that. I'm not a people pleaser no more. I have boundaries with people. I set boundaries. I don't free of information to people anymore. People are often inquisitive about my life, and I just divert it back to them. I no longer talk so freely about my personal life, and I don't give anyone insight into my personal life. That's okay, because I have God. I talk to him about my problems, or I have a diary that I can write down my problems with. So it's about finding that solution and finding what works for you. They always say that people pleasing always leads to you being emotionally abused. People will make you feel guilty about saying no, and that's what happens. I had someone that said to me, yeah, I'm a people pleaser, I'm working on saying no, but when they say no, they say it in the softest way, but it still comes out offending the other person. And most of the time, that is what happens. When you're honest with people, people get easily offended. And we live in an offended society. We do. We live in an offended society. Everyone's got an opinion about something. She said to me that she is working on being nicer to herself. When she people pleased, she injured her back. She has to live with this health related problem of going to physio and taking medication just because she didn't say no. And this is how serious it can become, people. You need to put yourself first. I know most of you agree with this. I know you lot agree with this. There are many different reasons why you're a people pleaser, and that's because either are the caregiver of the family, meaning maybe you're the oldest member of the family and then you've taken up the role of always helping your siblings. Number two, your mother or your father wasn't around enough. And number three, your parents made you feel guilty or selfish if you would not do something that they wanted. And you know what? People pleasing is like survival out here. You know, most of the time, when you are a people pleaser, you have come from some sort of background with domestic violence or abuse. You have literally been taught, or you have been abused so much that you are just literally want to keep the peace, and so that's why you say yes. That's what it is. And so what comes with that is that you're not respecting yourself anymore in order to be happy. And you do deserve to be happy. And so going forward, you will not people please, you will set boundaries, you will not let anyone treat ill of you, speak bad about you. I mean, to be honest with you, people will speak bad about you no matter what. That could be of anyone, right? But you have to ignore it. You heard of the grey rock method? You heard about poker face, you do all of that. It's fine. Do what you need to do in order for you to survive. You understand? Don't put your negative energy over here with me. Happy 2025, everybody, and I will see you next year. Subscribe.